Yeah, please.
First, today is the concluding day, and how you will define today's match and the whole league in your observation?
Yeah, today's game was our third very close game in a row, and it was actually quite good to win one. I think we probably should have won the first game. The second game was quite tight, and we were on the losing end of that. So today was a good day for us to get onto the board. And yeah, a good game of cricket. I think there's been some very good games of cricket and been some tight games. There's been some games that have been run away, but I think that's due to the conditions at certain times. But I think today's pitch played its part. Was a very good cricket wicket, and I think it produced a fantastic game of cricket.
Peter Delapenna with US Cricket now. In season 1, when MI New York won the title, domestic players made major contributions to that, and last year Washington Freedom similarly, they had Sarvaj Vulcan and Andrews House arguably played huge roles in their road to the title. Having Mona Patel, USA captain, score a half century in the first game and then top scorer and be player of the match in this game, getting a contribution like that from a domestic player, what impact does that have on the overall squad for you?
It doesn't surprise me. Monik's a fantastic player, and I mean that's why he's playing for the USA as well. So I think you look at a player like that, and I've watched him in the nets. I haven't been with him for a long period of time, but his first innings showed me that he's got that sort of know of how to score runs. He struggled up front in the first game, but he stuck it out, and he ended up scoring, I think it's 50 in 30 odd balls, which is exactly where you want to be as a top order batter. Today he came in. Conditions are tough in the power play, especially in the second innings. So we knew it was going to be tough, and he stuck to the plan as well. And then he really expressed himself after that, and then he played some fantastic cricket shots all over the park. I mean, when a guy like Henrik Klaasen, who's one of the top batters in the world, where he said that it was a really impressive innings, that says quite a bit. And he was the opposing captain. So, as I said, it doesn't surprise me. A lot of the locals that I've seen here are very talented cricketers. I think it's sometimes maybe their self-belief lets them down a bit. But that will come with a bit of time and performing against top players worldwide. And I'm sure that as this league grows a bit older, the players will start to realise that we can mix it with the best in the world, and they'll take a lot of confidence from that.
I'm no one here. Just following up on the question about what you said about Patel. Was it the plan for you guys to just take it slow and settle down at the wicket, or was it just like the Orcas were falling pretty well in the first power play?
It was a plan. I think if you have a look at their power play, they were 32 for 2 and they ended up getting 200. The trend of the tournament, especially in the second innings, is that the wicket's gone a bit up and down and maybe moves around in the power play. But then the back 10, it really starts to slide on and it becomes difficult for bowlers. So we knew that we wanted to get off to a good start, limit the amount of wickets that we lost in the power play. So we always felt that maybe the runs weren't quite there, but we were setting ourselves up when we did the basics to create an onslaught towards the back end, and I think that's exactly what planned out. So I was very happy with the start that we got. It was always going to be tough as the game got a bit older, and that's exactly what it proved to be. I mean, a lot of Nicky probably, if there was one over more that Quinny didn't get out, he probably would have gone in. But we felt that Brace has been batting really well, and he was the perfect guy to go in. He also struggled a bit, but then towards the back end, he really pulled it through. And ultimately, you want one of your top order batting towards the end of the game, and it proved tonight that there was a lot of reward with that.
Just snipping back on the question from power play, I know it's a cliche, but what do you think is the reason that the teams are not able to launch in the power play as we see this season? They're doing like in 30s and 40s?
I think it's the pitch. I think with a new ball, it's a little bit up and down. So it's difficult to line a bowler up. So it's very much bowler friendly in the first 6 overs. If you bowl badly, however, you can still go a bit. But if you've got some quality opening bowlers with a new ball, if they land the ball in the right area, one keeps low, one bounces a bit, it can be very tough for batters. So I think in general, at this venue, I think a lot of the teams were, let's rather look to capitalise towards the back end rather than lose too many wickets in the power play, and then you don't have any batters left for the back end of the game. So I think if you look at the games where teams have batted well, barring maybe the first game where the wicket was quite fresh, I think that is the general trend. And most teams, that you do your video analysis and you look at that and you say, right, let me try and get the percentages in our favour as a batting unit. And that's exactly what happened today with both sides.
Yeah, I know you touched on a little bit that Nicholas would have gone if there was one more over, that Quinn would have stayed out there. But in the last 2 seasons, he's been batting at 3, and he's been like one of the best batsmen in the Major League. And so just kind of wondering why he's not batting in that number 3 position as he usually was in the last 2 seasons.
I think it's largely due to the pitch as well. This is obviously a conversation that we've had. We know the stats. We know how good he is. I'm the last coach who would try hold one of my best players back. I think it's largely just due to the wickets and the nature of the wicket that we just felt that rather give him an opportunity to come in towards the back end of the game where batting conditions are really good and bowlers are under pressure, rather than him getting in too early and maybe getting one ball that keeps a bit low or bounces, hits a glove. So it's really just picking the conditions and trying to give your best players the best opportunity to go out there and put a bowling side under pressure. That could change in Dallas. A lot of people would have gone, Nicky P is one of the best batters in the world, so why wouldn't you want to get him early? I think it's just because of the conditions that we've tried to sort of look at where he's best suited for our team.
Just one question about Nash Kenjige. He injured himself in his last match for USA, which is about a month ago now. Now he's had a cast on his right hand wrist. He was a key bowler for the team the last 2 seasons. How close is he to being 100% fit and getting an opportunity to get back on the field?
Nashi's obviously been a big loss for us in the start of the competition. I'm not 100% sure what's the medical team have got on the plate for him at the moment. I know that he went for a scan fairly recently, and I think we're just waiting for those results to come in and expert opinions. Certainly he's one that we'd love to get into the equation. He's a massive player, and I've never really worked with him, but he's full of beans as well, and he really wants to get out there as well. So we'll just wait and see what the experts have to say.
But you haven't replaced him yet, so
No.
Is that an indication that you expect him to come back at some point in the season?
No, we haven't replaced him, and hopefully we can get some positive information from the doctors.
There was a point in the game where, my uncle was watching it all over the field, and Michael Bracewell was still batting at under 100 strike rate. Was there even a glimpse? I know it happened a couple of times.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Yeah, was there even a glimpse of possibly retiring him?
No, I think I did an interview halfway through the game, and I was asked that question. I think the tournament's way too early to make those sort of calls. We know what Brace is like. He showed towards the back end that he finished the game off. I wasn't too concerned because of the way that Monarch was batting, and they were great. They were forming a good partnership and winning us the game. So at no stage did I think, let me retire him and get someone else in. We know what Brace can do towards the back end of innings. He's played some fantastic knocks in the few games that he's played, and also for New Zealand as well. So he can bat up front and he can bat towards the back end. So that's his skill set. Sometimes it looks tougher. One guy's batting like a dream and the other guy's struggling a bit. But sometimes, you just need one hit and then you're away. So we always backed him to be able to do that. And at no stage did we ever think that we're going to pull him off. I just think if that's going to happen, and I know it happened in the IPL once or twice, it's got to be something really extreme that you swapping a player for.
Just one final question, Mark. About Naveen, it was the best of days for him today. What do you think went wrong for him today? He was hit 4 sixes by Myers, but then they brought him back actually for the 20 over against. Was it like there wasn't any other option, or was it like
No.
Naveen with the process?
So if you have a look at the way that they sort of lined their attack up today, I'm talking about their batters. They also they took it fairly easy in the power play, and they wanted wickets towards the back end. So we also knew that they had some very big players that would be coming in towards the last 10 overs of the game, and we wanted to get our best, most experienced bowlers bowling to them as well. So he bowled in really tough overs today, and he took one for the team. I think his execution maybe struggled a bit today, but he's a fantastic bowler, and someone had to go out there and bowl the tough overs today. Today it was his turn to do that. There's still a lot of positives to take out the way that he's been bowling. He bowled really well the previous game. I think that's the tough thing about bowling. When you're one of the senior bowlers, him and Balti, we're always going to look to them to bowl the tough overs, and sometimes it's just the nature of T20 cricket. You don't come off on some nights, and some nights you do. And unfortunately tonight he didn't come off, but there's still a lot of support from him in the dressing room because of the fact that we knew that he was the guy who's bowling the real tough overs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.